What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by Travis Mangone. And Travis, we got a treat for the people today because I missed it. I thought I missed out all this great NBA information, but it turns out you just gave out Major League Baseball winners. So we have fresh, new material for the people today with you joining us. How you feeling today?
Yeah, excited to talk some basketball. I believe I just messed up my camera, but it should be back now. We're good. Yeah, I'm excited to talk some basketball. I'm more locked into basketball than I am MLB right now, so I'm excited to talk about it. And hey, all the narratives, all the pettiness for Chris Paul tonight, I'm in. Spread. It's hard to make me not play some Chris Paul. Let's just say that.
All right, we're going to get into that. But first, I'll stand here and I'm going to take my L. And Travis, usually I'm excited to talk basketball, but not today, man. For all the chats I'm in, for the other shows I do, I have been taking a beating because I took the Milwaukee Bucks over the Boston Celtics last night. I've been Team Bucks, for a while now. And I've said that Drew Holiday is a great player. And have you ever believed in someone, Travis, and it turned out that belief was completely unfounded?
I mean, we attend Clippers University, so yes, Spread. That's correct.
I felt completely betrayed. I mean, I'm coming on here comparing him to the top point guards in the league on these shows. JSU's going crazy. The chat's going crazy. I'm planting my flag, and now, you know what? The holiday is over. The vacation is over. It's time to return to work. I'm done with that guy, Drew Holiday. Series on the line, chance to really close it out. He's got throws an absolute sticker out there. Not to take away credit from, of course, the Boston Celtics, who played great. Al Horford turned back the clock. Jason Tatum played crap for three quarters, but turned it on when he needed it, unlike his counterpart on the other side. Giannis was tired for the first time I've ever seen him tired in his career. So give the Celtics credit for tiring him out. But I've taken my lumps. I'll take my L, admit that was the wrong call. What did you see there? As a Celtics fan, you had to be happy, though, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. Spread sounds like you've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led
Yeah.
astray. Whatever Stephen A. keeps going with, run amok. He just rattles it all off. So, I'm on the Celtics side. Spread, like I've been there. I wasn't there on the Nets series, right? But like for the Milwaukee Bucks one, I said, okay, I'm on board. And I actually wanted to wager like last night's game more, but then I saw Robert Williams out, and I said, okay, I think they can survive Daniel Tice, but I don't need to push. Like let's just chill. Don't need to go crazy. And I was just happy they got the job done. And I don't know. I think they were like, I just think everything's had to hinge on Al Horford. Like, as crazy as that sounds, like his front court touches are insane. Like, or not front court, just touches in general. I think he's got like in the last 4 games, he has like 80 touches, which is just wild. So he's been going off, and they need him. And do you think the Bucks will eventually adjust, or are they going to say, hey, like if the corpse of Al Horford from the OKC days, right, last year, where everyone said he was washed, are they just going to let him like just win the series? Like, is it going to be game 7 and we still see Al Horford just taking open jump shots, Spread?
Probably. Like Budenholzer's kind of a guy that like comes up with this. He's almost like a football coach, right? This is the way we do it.
Yeah.
We establish the run, right? Like this is our team culture, right? So I wouldn't be surprised.
I
I mean,
wouldn't
at
be
the
either.
same time, if anyone else shows up for that team, the strategy gets them a win. They're up by what, 10 going into the fourth quarter, and everybody disappears. So it's not necessarily the worst strategy. I would say, as much as everyone wants to go on Bud, like what's the old joke? What's the best adjustment? Make your shots, right? Like Miami's going to try and make that adjustment tonight. Hit your open 3-pointers, right? Whole different series when you make that quote unquote adjustment. So I think they're going to keep going with that strategy. Is that what you expect?
Yeah, I assume it doesn't really change. So listen, just keep pounding Al Horford. Like the projections are going to be wrong until like I'm just going to keep playing him over and over. I think he's a good play, so I'll be all over him. And then what was the other series we had last night? I'm blanking here.
The Grizzlies, Warriors, and hey,
over.
at least I got that win. At least I got that one. We got it on the sheet. That was for Run Pure subscribers. That was my play of the day because I didn't want to go against Tyler and the crew. So I took the Bucks loss by myself. It was just me and my cats screaming at the TV as Drew Holiday clanked another shot. Hey, when the shot's not going in, maybe try and feed some of your teammates, right? Realize it's not your night. Hey, I'm 5 for 20. Let me just drive down and shoot up a three with 19 seconds left on. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll move on. The
Yeah, no,
Grizzlies,
I'm with you.
they
Like,
covered.
listen, I not as someone who, is, not been the best at pick up basketball in the past. I think I've gotten
Yeah,
better though. I knew when to not shoot, right? Like I knew when I was like, I
yeah.
can't be the guy. Like this is not my role. Like Dylan Brooks, that was not your role. Like your
Oh
role was
yeah.
to pass it along. And you know who else's role it wasn't? It wasn't Jaren Jackson's role to be just come Curry and just pull up from the logo, basically. I mean, I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, what is happening? I was like yelling at the TV. I couldn't believe it. Like, why is Jaren Jackson Jr. pulling that up?
Yeah, the whole thing. And Memphis had the chance to win that game straight up, and I at least felt good about that one because that was a me against the world play yesterday too. Everyone else thought the Warriors were going to win by 30. JSU and Big T, right, set up their lineups with the blowout in mind, or it was JSU at least. I don't know if I saw the Big T show, but I did see JSU with you, right, and I know that he set his lineup with the Warriors winning by 30. And I was actually, we had Glock on yesterday, and I was struggling because I said I really like the Warriors. I like the Grizzlies to keep this close, and still not a lot of these guys are hitting my projections, right? And it was just weird that these guys didn't really break the slate, and there was so many starter caliber guys that were less than 7K. So it was definitely an interesting game. You got to give the Grizzlies credit for hanging tough. Now the series goes back to Memphis. Is Morant coming back? Like what are you expecting there? Here, I'm checking Basketball Monster here, and what are we seeing here? He is. What is he at?
What?
He's questionable. Morant's questionable. Do you expect to see him back?
I know, and even if he does play, like I don't know, like I just don't think it's happening. So, yeah, I thought that this was like just like this series was over like after game one. So I just assuming it's still over. Like, and I want it to be over. I don't want to watch that anymore. I don't want to deal with that series. I'm good. Let's just play one more game and then we just move on. So, that's my hope at least.
All right. Mine too. Let's get on. Let's get on to tonight's game because we will be talking about, I think, the series that are a little more interesting. The Bucks broke my heart last night as a home team, but there's another home team that I'm interested tonight. It is the Miami Heat. I talk about adjustments. 7 of 35 from behind the arc last time. Give Philadelphia some credit. It wasn't their best 3-point shooters, but regardless, those were some wide open looks that they weren't able to put down. I think that, of course, that's different at home. You know, you always talk about the environment, shooting on the same rim, being comfortable at home, the crowd support should all help these guys like Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, not just clank, 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 clank. Will there be an appearance from by Duncan Robinson? I mean, I understand we don't want to let Harden get loose, but maybe at some point we need to make some of these outside shots. What are you expecting tonight in Miami, Travis?
I mean, if Duncan Robinson does play, he better hit his shots. The amount of money that man's making, like he's just going there, just securing a huge bag. But I don't think he starts to play. I don't know. I've gone back and forth on it, spread because I actually don't like. I talked to JC a little bit about it. Like I don't love the Oladipo lineups as much as he liked them, and
He loves them.
yeah, I don't know how great they are. I think they're fun. Like, and again, though, what's the alternatives? Like, that's the other key. Like, the alternatives, they're not great ones either. And I guess for the switches, like, I get it. I just don't know if I'd rather kind of space it out a little bit. But the problem is if you do space that out, I don't know. You leave when you leave Bam on that island with Embiid, and if you don't have anyone else to come over and help, that can be a problem. So, yeah, I don't know what you're going to see on that front. I think you are going to see Oladipo play. The question is how many minutes. This is definitely me like playing into like if I was the coach, I don't know if I'd run him out there as many as he's seen, but I actually think he's probably going to still see a ton of minutes. I think there's no Kyle Lowry, so I believe Gabe Vincent starts. I don't think Gabe Vincent is like a true like actual like real rotation guy right now. I think they firmly like Oladipo, Hero, or Struss more. Like I think those guys have a higher probability. And I know Struss is already in that starting lineup, but I think one of Oladipo or Hero is for sure going to steal Vincent's like closeout run. And if Vincent's closeout run gets stolen, well, then I'm not as interested. Now, could it be Max Struss loses his run to a Vincent? Yeah, I could see that happen, but I don't think that's the more than likely route. So for me, it's between those four guys, really making a decision on that. You have to decide between who do you like more and like what's your ranking? Is it Hero, Struss, Oladipo, and Vincent? I would lean Oladipo, Struss, and Hero over Vincent, mainly because of the shooting guard eligibility, because I can slide them into that spot. Because for my lineup construction, I think it's valuable. It might not be for yours, but for mine right now it is. I also, if I had to pick between PJ Tucker or Gabe Vincent, give me PJ Tucker. I think he's a way safer starter that I would rather go to, especially because I think you're going to see those more small ball lineups. Do you have Dwayne Dedman's status for tonight's spread?
Let me double check right now. I was on Friday looking at Drew. Today is Tuesday. Dwayne Dedman is questionable.
Okay. So I haven't like thought too much about Dwayne Dedman, but like, see the flat man he is.
Yeah.
I do think they need him a little bit. I mean, the thing is like for center, if you don't go, and I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but it's worth talking about DFS wise. 8 and 7K, Bam 7-2, and then Embiid's 10K. All really good options. Then from there, it's Maxi Kleber at 5-1, and then it's like JaVale McGee at 3-6. So like, do you need to take the chance on someone like Dedman? I do think they might need his size a little more, but I think I'd rather just go to McGee as my punt and just call it a day. I don't know if that 600 will matter that much. It probably won't. So I'd probably rather just go to McGee. But yeah, ultimately, you trying to figure out these Heat guys is like really key, and I don't want to like overload on them too much. Like I'll probably set a group on FanDuel when I run my MME stuff. I'll probably make a group where I don't get overexposed to these guys way too much, because like you could have done that last night where you got overexposed to like Tyus Jones, Melton, Brooks. Like, well, Melton busted pretty hard. Brooks wasn't even that great. I think there are routes where, like, I don't see routes where all these guys get there. So I kind of want to group them away a little bit. I want to be smart about how I'm jamming them in my lineups. And I'm scared about these Sixers. Like, one, they're on the road. So if you're on the road, that's a huge concern, right? I think in general. Two, Embiid's 10K, getting a little pricey. He's also on the road. Very tough matchup against Bam. Then you have Harden, which his price has now gone up a little bit, and Embiid is there, so that can cause some problems. You got Tobias Harris, Maxey, who can all just like eat into each other. I don't mind Maxey at his price, mainly because his touches I've noticed have been really high, and he just has to like get hot. Once he gets hot, it's over, and he'll kind of steal the run. But there is like some downside to him if he doesn't get going. That is the one big concern that you can have. So I don't know. I'm trying my best to stay away from these Sixers. I don't think it's a great spot for them personally. The Heat, though, I like mixing and matching those guys that we talked about. Not in love with Jimmy Butler right now. I think he's a good play, but I just currently don't have him on my teams.
I was going to ask you about that. How do we deal with the spend ups in this game? I'm looking at some projections right now. Embiid and Butler, very similar. Although, right, Saber and RPS have them a lot different. Who would you rather have tonight? Don't worry about position. Let's just pretend this is for my util spot. Embiid or Butler?
Probably Embiid, I think. I don't know. That's a tough one. When the positions matter, it definitely gets tough. Because like I currently have slid in like McGee in my center spot a bunch to be able to make stuff work. But if it's just like the util and it doesn't matter, I think I would lean Embiid.
McGee or Dedman if he plays?
Probably McGee, because like I just don't know if I can justify the Dedman thing. It just seems too risky. And like of course I get JaVale McGee at home, right? The role player at home. I also think there's a chance like the Suns like win kind of big. And if the Suns win kind of big, like, well, McGee can get that really nice closeout run. That could be like the thing that puts you over the top in the end. So I don't know. I like McGee a lot there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to load up on this game. I think my real key is trying to figure out what am I doing between Vincent, Struss, Oladipo, Hero, and Tucker. And right now, my current lean is I like Tucker, and then I'm trying to decide, do I want one or two of Struss, Oladipo, Hero, and then try to load up on that last game. That's like my current thought process right now.
All right. Any thoughts on the side? I'm on Miami. I like the Heat.
Yeah, I like the Heat as like a lean, but like I'm not dying to bet it. I'll just say that. I do think Sixers end up winning this series though. So
really? Okay.
Yeah.
And let us know why.
I think you're just gonna see like, okay, Heat win this one, Sixers win the 6, and then it goes back to the 7, and anything can happen, right? Like
you want Game 7 in Miami. James Harden, not Mr. Game 7 in
yeah, but you don't need him.
He's not the second coming of Reggie Jackson here, right?
You don't need him. You know why? Because stars are born in the postseason, and Tyrese Maxey is born, right? Like him and Embiid.
And for those who don't know, I'm not talking about Reggie Jackson on the Clippers. I'm talking about Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, the star that stirs straw that stirs the drink for the Yankees and, of course, my Oakland A's back when they were good. Let's go. What are you doing with Yurt 7? I'm
No,
not on the Yurt 7.
no, I don't think you can do it. I mean,
He can't hang, right?
nah, he can't. There's just no reason to. You
Yeah.
can't touch your. I mean, I did play him in Showdown last week because I thought there was a chance and like the projections liked him, and I was like, it did work for like what I wanted to do. Like it happened to fit. If not, I probably wouldn't have played him, but it just happened to fit. I was running a lot of like 2-man Philly stacks with like a 2-4 Heat, so it was going 4 Heat. And in order to make that work, it was giving me a lot of Embiid captain. So I wanted to put the Philly guys in the captain, and it just didn't work out. I got crushed in that showdown slate. But hey, I don't think Big Yurt is going to be the way, especially if Dedmon's back. And even if Dedmon's not back, they want to go PJ Tucker at the 5 more. And they now have like a plethora of guards that they can mix in. If they go PJ Tucker at the 5, they can go other guys at the 4. Jimmy can easily play the 4, and they can put, Oladipo at the 3, Struss at the 2, Vincent at the 1. That's certainly a lineup that they can go with, where I think they're going to get away from I think you're seeing them get away from a guy like Yurt. I don't think he's playing. I think maybe Dedmon gets run just because he's been good and they like his size more than they do with Yurt.
All right. What do you think about this tank? Our guy, West Coast Gem. He says Harden's going for 40 tonight. Do you have that in your projections, Travis?
Well, I'm curious. He said Harden's warming up. Does that mean he's warming up right now? Like, do we have a live feed in Miami? Like, is he getting up like 50 million shots? I don't know if you know this, spread, but before Jaylen Brown had that game that he nuked in game, I think it was game 2, he was at the gym, not the gym. He was at the TD Garden. He was there 3.5 hours shooting just by himself. Like, if you tell me Harden's shooting now, then I'm gonna say the strip clubs were closed last night, and that man is out there grinding. But I'm not buying James Harden completely. Yes, he's heating up, but like you can have James Harden tonight. I'm taking Chris Paul. That's just it. That's my stand I'm making.
So can you believe that Tyler can't victory lap this? So he's been on the Celtics. He's messaging me last night.
He says
I get let down by Drew Holiday. He's got the Drew Holiday of laptops here. The thing won't show up.
No.
At least he hasn't touted it as being one of the best laptops in the NBA. So, all right. Anything more from this game before we move on?
No, I'll give Tyler a pass because, like, listen, like I'll ride my computer into the ground. I won't like instantly upgrade it. So yeah, I'm with you, Tyler. Just you're gonna keep trucking along until it's just too much of a hassle and it's too ridiculous. So I get
it. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the. Phoenix is out to -6.5 against the Dallas Mavericks. That's the evening game for us tonight. Total of 215 plus 223 on the Mavericks. If you're feeling crazy, -6.5, but you said you think Phoenix could blow this game out. How do you think?
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at some projection stuff and I got distracted. So, man, I don't bet against Chris Paul in these spots, right? Like,
I mean, because he has so many rings.
He's a petty dude, man. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. He's a petty dude. He's definitely got a ring in the petty department, I'd say. Like, no.
Is he a NBA champion of pettiness?
Would you put him on the Mount Rushmore of petty NBA players? Like, LeBron's on there, right? He's pretty petty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron's on that Mount Rushmore. Who else is on there?
I mean, Jordan's got to be pretty petty. Do you remember when he gave his Hall of Fame speech and he's like talking about some shooting guard that beat him out for junior varsity? And he's still bringing it up. I mean, he invited like his high school teammates just to like make fun of him. Like, look at me now, and you beat me back then. I mean, it's crazy.
I'd bring that up too, though. You don't forget. You got to keep those things in the memory bank, spread. It helps long term.
So when you're going in the DFS Hall of Fame, you're going to invite me just so you can like clown me for like some bad projection I had like 20 years ago.
No, spread. Not you. There's other reasons to do those things, but I will not be clowning you. Don't worry. If anything, I want you there. I want you in celebration. But,
well, I appreciate it. I wonder if this guy's going to be there. Our guy Glaucoma in the chat, big Dallas fan here. Are you going to give him some bad news on what you think is going to happen tonight?
Oh man. So here I'm trying to think. Do I have any wagers with Glock? I'm trying to think. Glock, we went 1-1 so far. If you want the Mavericks for the rest of the series, Glock, I mean, slide in. You know those DMs. We've DM'd today. Like, I'll take the Suns the rest of the series if you like. Let's see if he'll take the bait. It's a 2-2 series. But Yeah, I mean, listen, Chris Paul, I'm sure he is down for hugs, but I don't know. I heard a different story. I heard mom was getting tapped on the shoulder too much, and mom said, "Okay, like thanks, I appreciate it. It's been enough," and then it kept happening. So I'm with Chris. Don't people don't want to be messed with, and just leave them alone. It's very simple. So again, I'm betting on the Chris Paul thing. This is my only problem spread that I've at least struggled with when I build out lineups. So every Chris Paul team that I've seen so far, without locking stuff, Chris Paul is not on teams with Luka. Like they don't like magically work. The only way you can do it is if like you lock them together and then you see what the teams are. And I will say a lot of the teams that I look at and see with them, I do not like. Like I'll just go through when I lock both of them. I'm going to name the gross player on every team that I don't like the guy, like my least favorite like thing about each team, right? So the first team, there's like 5 Suns and one of them's Campaign. Like that's just like Campaign and Paul don't really want to play together. So there's that. Team 2, Matisse Thybulle. Do you want to play Matisse Thybulle spread?
No.
No, I don't think you do. It just sounds awful.
No shot.
Yeah, this next one's not bad. It goes Campaign still, but it's only 4 Suns, so it's not the end of the world where it's like, okay. This one goes Gabe Vincent and like Cam Johnson, and I get it. It's not the best slate, right? So like we have to figure something out. But I know the Chris Paul and Luka teams don't look as great. This next team, it goes Gabe Vincent, Oladipo, PJ Tucker. Like, again, that's like, I don't know.
That's
don't
my
like
favorite one you've mentioned so far. I would just try and work Vincent out of there somehow. Is there a chance that Vincent goes off? Like what?
Nah,
what do you think Vincent's ceiling's tonight? 25?
Yeah, this one looks like some of the ones that I've looked at, but like then Cam Johnson's in there, and like I don't love Cam Johnson. I don't mind him. His price is getting better. Like he's someone I could see myself going, but I'm not dying to. Next one is Caleb Martin. Then the next 4, Matisse Thybulle. Like just literally no. Like I'm not playing Matisse Thybulle. Then the next 3, Cam Johnson, Gabe Vincent's on one of them. Like 5, and the other 2, 5 Suns. Like the mix is not getting where I want it to be. Oh yeah, and that other team I said with Gabe Vincent is Davis Bertans. Like the reason why these builds are like a struggle, I noticed, is because like you always have to go like one of these like gross cheap power forwards or one of those cheaper guards that I don't want. And like I get it, it's not the easiest slate, but I'm at least having struggles with the Chris Paul and Luka build. So that's my thing I'm trying to figure out. I'm actually considering the Luka fade. It's scary, right? It sounds crazy.
Do that.
Why not?
Because he's going to be their whole offense. Again,
so,
what happened last time they were in Phoenix?
So for what it's worth, the last time they were in Phoenix, he only put up 52.75, and my friend won the $200 GPP, and he didn't have Luka on it. He had Jimmy Butler.
I stand corrected.
And here's the thing. Luka is the best raw points guy. And I agree that on these playoff slates, the best raw points guy it's important to have at times, because if the values end up getting there, then it's fine. But I'm thinking about it, right? I haven't really thought about the Luka fade the past, 3-4 slates we played of this second round. I'm at least thinking about it this time. And another reason I'm thinking about it, not only has Luka's price gone up some, not a ton, but these other guys' prices have gone down. Bam Adebayo's price has gone down to 7K. Ayton's price has gone down to 7.2. Also, like shooting guard, I'm having trouble making it work, but I do think one of my shooting guards will be Struss, Oladipo, or Hero. But yeah, that's like, I'm thinking about it, spread. Don't come to me later and be like, oh,
no,
you're a dog.
I guess no. You make a great point. All I'm hearing from you today is that this is the day to get balanced. It sounds like. It sounds like you're really struggling to find some value. So you're going to go in this what, 6 to 8K range? Is there a lot of players you like in here? I mean, I guess we'll go up to 9K. But I mean, are you thinking? All right. I mean, this is, it's funny. We're going to do the same questions on every single slate. So thank you for bearing with me here. But we've asked it before, we'll ask it again. Who would you rather have, Bam Adebayo or DeAndre Ayton?
That's a really tough one. My lean is Ayton. I don't know if you see Ayton. He's been talking. He's like, I need to get back to doing what I'm, getting offensive, and it does feel like a good spot to jump on Ayton. My problem with Bam is that Joel Embiid matchup's not the easiest, right? I mean, that's one of the big concerns. Game can play a little bit slower as well. So I don't know. I think Ayton is going to be a little bit of a better play. If I have to pick one, that's the guy I'm going to end up going to. I also think that Heat game could play super slow. The game could be 41-39 at the end of the half of that Sixers game. And you just feel like an absolute idiot. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely thinking about the Bam versus Ayton thing. And there are teams I found that like they do go Ayton, Paul, and like Luca. Like they exist. They're not like the end of the world. I just gotta find my way to see if I can get on those routes. I don't know. I do feel like my script I'm trying to build today is I am trying to build the script of like Chris Paul, and like the Suns just like beat the Mavericks pretty bad. Like they maybe not pretty bad, but like I think they win this game. I think you get that good Chris Paul closeout run where they dominate the fourth quarter, where they have a really good fourth quarter. They're not going to dominate like the way they did in that second or first game where they just made every single shot. But I do think you're going to see them get the job done. And I mean, the only issue I have with like the Dallas side, I know we're going a little out of order here and everything, but Dallas has like such a nice condensed rotation right now. So, and a lot of those guys in the mid tier, they are good plays. Like Maxi Kleber at 5'1", he definitely still is a good play. I mean, he saw 34 minutes last game. He still didn't get there completely, but he didn't bust for you. Jalen Brunson at 6'4". If the shots are going to be there like they were the last time, it's definitely possible. The only thing is like Luka did get into some foul trouble in one game. I know he is putting up more shots. I'm a little worried about Spencer Dinwiddie, but the price is getting good. I mean, at 4.9, it's still getting better, but I just lean those Heat guys as better options and Struss and Oladipo, so I'm not dying to play Spencer Dinwiddie. And then like Dorian Finney-Smith, the price has gone up, but like the guy is going to get a pile of minutes and like be a good play. So, and then Reggie Bullock, obviously he's there for a decent bounce back spot. He's just got to make his threes. It's just simple.
Let me rewind. Brunson or Tyler Hero?
My lean's Hero, I think. I get the jump shooter at home as well. So yeah, I kind of lean Hero. That's kind of, I think that's the guy I'm going to lean to. I know Hero I think he wasn't great last game, right? What did he put up? No, he had 29, which wasn't the end of the world. But there's no Kyle Lowry now too, right? Like that's going to be really nice and key for him. So yeah, my lean is Tyler Hero. I'm going with him over Jalen Brunson, I think.
All right. Oladipo or Reggie Bullock?
Oladipo, Reggie Bullock. Lean is Oladipo, but like if I already have Hero, do I want both those guys? I don't know if I want both. I think that's like a real key for me.
So when I'm doing this on SaberSim, would you say if I pop up Hero, I should just pop down Oladipo?
No, what I would do is I would just group them away from each other. So you can set up a group in SaberSim where you say Oladipo and Tyler Hero are on, like they're on at most, is it thinking of the rules? You want at most one of these guys, one of those guys. So I would put them in a bucket together where that way Tyler Hero and Oladipo, they're separate on all your teams. Could both get there? Yeah, they could.
I like that. Okay.
They could get there. Like there are routes where that works, but I don't hate that idea. I don't think it's a terrible route to go, especially because I personally think that like sliding Oladipo and Hero at the shooting guard spot is way better today. So yeah, I don't know. I don't mind that group. That's something I'm playing more FanDuel MME, so I probably won't have to set up. I don't know. Maybe I'll set that group up. I want to look. I might make a bigger group where it's like at most two of those guys. I have to see what the FanDuel salaries are though. Cause like yesterday that was hard to do with Memphis because Memphis was just way too cheap.
Right. Yeah, definitely agree with that. So, all right. So yeah, man, I thought Tyler would get his thing going right now. I thought for sure we'd have the victory lap. So let's just take some questions from the chat.
Real quick, Spread. I want to say this. So one thing is I'm trying to figure out what to do with center today. Like center is another one. Like center and shooting guard are the slots I'm trying to figure out. Forward, I feel pretty good about playing like Luka and Chris Paul. I'm trying to jam those two. Then forward, slamming those really good mid-tier forwards. Shooting guard, one of those Heat guys I talked about. And then like center, it's like, okay, do I go with Bam or an Ayton, or do I go all the way down to McGee? So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to lock McGee in and see like what that team looks like. And like, because I want to get Chris Paul, but I'm trying to get him like more organically rather than like just shoving him on my teams. And like, yeah, I mean, so when I plug McGee in, yeah, this one's not bad. I like this team a lot, this setup I found. So when I plug McGee in, it gets me a route where I get Chris Paul, I get Luka, and I get one of those centers in Ayton or Bam. So I get like kind of three studs, and I have a spot. It plugs in Jalen Brunson, and then I could downgrade him to one of those Heat guys that I kind of talked about, and then make it work. So I think I have a good idea of what I want to do now, but like that's how you can use the optimizer and figure things out.
That lineup really is going to make you answer this question here. As for my guy Fila, Aiden and McGee in the same lineup.
I think you can
you
get
up?
away. I think you can get away with it, and the reason why I think you can get away with it is like they're on the court at separate times. It's a 2-game slate, and McGee is like a really elite fantasy producer, right? Like that's
A
the one
point
thing.
per minute guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Dallas is playing so small, and the Suns just don't care. They're like, that's fine. We're just going to play JaVale McGee like 10 to 12 minutes. My problem with Campaign, and the difference between them is one, he takes up a guard spot, and guard is like valuable to me. Yes, you can put him at util. It's not the end of the world, but like Campaign, well, what is he seeing on the court? He's seeing Reggie Bullock at times, right? Like he is running into some like annoying combination. He's running into Spencer Dinwiddie. He's not getting these easy looks. And if I'm prioritizing Chris Paul, which I believe I am on this slate, well, when I prioritize Chris Paul, what did we see last game? Chris Paul's off the court. Who's on the court? Campaign. If Chris Paul's on the court, is Campaign on the court that much? I mean, maybe not. I mean, if Booker's in foul trouble, yeah, then they got to ride him a little bit more. But the point I'm getting at is I think I prefer McGee over Campaign if the price doesn't matter. I understand if the price matters and there's like a small upgrade, but I want to lean McGee way more than I think Campaign.
This is a great question here from our guy Andrew. Can you play Booker and Paul together?
I think that's like if you think it's gonna like let's say that this Sixers Heat game, it underwhelms, right? It's just not like amazing, and like there's not a guy that's for sure on the winner, right? Like the max a stud puts up on the slate is like, let's say like Bam puts up 40, Embiid puts up 48, Jimmy puts up 50, 53, which is still good at the price, but you're not like, you don't need it on the slate. You like it, but you don't need it. And then I'm trying to think of anyone else. Like Maxey puts up like 28 to 30. Harris is putting up like 33. Just all average games. Or even the game just completely underwhelms. What if then Dallas underwhelms completely, right? Like let's say that they really struggle and then like the Suns just roll. Well, could Chris Paul and Booker both dominate? Of course they could. They could easily both crush. Also, this game feels like one of those games where you're going to get like major minutes from these guys. They're both at home. I've considered the Chris Paul, Devin Booker build already. I do think the Chris Paul, Devin Booker builds, though, at least that I've looked at, I think they require me to fade Luka. I don't know. I mean, maybe you can make it work with your setup or however you're looking at it, but
I think they're going to too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're running Vincent Strus, McGee, all the value.
But the thing is, like, let's say they beat him bad. Like, I don't know. Like, then you could play like a team that you could go that I think is super viable. And like, let me just plug it in real quick. If we let's plug in Chris Paul. We put Booker at shooting guard, which again, like I've had struggles with shooting guard for most of these slates. Maybe I'm on an island with that. So I plug in Jimmy Butler, Paul, Booker. I'm up for like 4-7 for like my last 3 spots. And like you can easily like punt it with the McGee. And then you're at 5K for like 4 spots. And there's a lot of good mid-tier guys there. So like I don't hate it. It's Luka, if he puts up 52, like I don't know. Like, I guess the key is you have to figure out what's the number that like Luka just destroys you at. And it also matters what those cheap guys are doing too. But like, I don't know.
It's above like 63.
Yeah, I mean, 63, I definitely want him. I'll say that. I want to get him in there. But I mean, he's had 57, 59, 52, 75. Like, and he's going to be, I mean, I don't know I'm trying to figure out how high owned he's going to be. I assume he's going to be high owned, but.
All right. Well, another guy that's very in demand, finally here with us, ready to take his Celtics victory lap. I think he's here with us. Tyler, do we have
if the camera works?
Do we lose this video? All right. Well, we'll keep going, and hopefully this pops on. I was trying to do a grand entrance, but I think his computer went out. Well, he's getting here.
Well, while you're doing that, Danny asked what the best stack is. I'll definitely be stacking up the Suns and Mavericks game. That would be my favorite stack spot. But a lot of the field is definitely probably saying that for sure. So, but I prefer that route for sure.
All right, Tyler, are you with us, or have we still having computer problems?
He's muted too, so.
Yeah, it's not really going well. Let me I'll take him out and we'll keep going, and then if I see it on the bottom, I'll bring him back in here. when he gets going. Yeah, a DFS wizard, that is for sure. Wearing Paranormal Activity with his camera. Can you believe that? He finally gets to, well, not finally, because he's got me plenty of times. But this was a big victory lap for him that he was going to be able to take, and his laptop won't even allow him to do it. What do you think of campaign? You've already gone over this. You're not a big campaign fan.
I mean, if it's a final piece, I don't hate it, but like it depends on my full construction of my lineup for sure. Like I see these campaign teams with like 5 like Suns, and like I'm not dying to play those. And I don't know. He is cheap though. He helps make a lot work, so I understand. I'm not completely ignoring him. My issue is like when I lock Luka and Chris Paul, like I only have one more guard spot for campaign. Like I wish he was shooting guard eligible, but I think he'd be like way higher owned if he was shooting guard eligible for sure on most of these slates.
I don't think Duncan Robinson's worth the risk, even though I do think that he gets run. And I think if I was Spoelstra, I would unleash him tonight because it's like, I mean, hey, it's great to play good defense, but 7 of 35 from 3, and you got one of your best shooters on the bench. I would think that he gets run, but yet I'm not really ready to make that risk in my lineup. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I don't mind it on Showdown, like just because like Showdown, like you're just trying to like bank with like a unique, right? Like, yesterday I had like a pretty good team on FanDuel that was like surprisingly unique. Like I couldn't believe it was unique, and it was up towards the top. And I just needed Brandon Clark to like do what Steven Adams was doing, and then I just would have crushed. But yeah, if you want it for that, I don't think it's a bad idea. But man, I don't know. It's just that he can get attacked so much defensively, you know.
All right. Glock's got a good comment here. He says, I'm curious to see what Luka's ownership comes out as if most of the lineups he is in has a nasty 3K punt. I mean, you've kind of been saying that, but I mean, seems like you guys are in agreement here, right?
Can you say it again?
I'm curious to see what Luka's ownership comes out at if most of the lineups he is in have a nasty 3K punt. I mean, it's really hard to get to him without just a dead
Glock,
man or.
It's because I'm forcing in Chris Paul. That's why. Like that's so if I don't force in Chris Paul, I'll run it and see. I don't force in Chris Paul. Actually, I ran it before. Let's see. I don't get as much Luka actually, which is kind of.
So how are you forcing in Chris Paul? You're just throwing his projections up by like 5 points.
I just locked him. I locked him at Luka.
Oh, so he has to be in all your lineups?
Yeah. When
I get it. I get it.
Just to, like look at it. Like you could up it. You could up the projection instead, but I just locked him to see what they do. Which I like to do. I like to like lock stuff just to see what they look like. And one thing I try to do is like I try not to lock stuff and then like just like run some like different uniques, like see if like the guy that I like pops up and then like what does that team look like and then go from there. So yeah, I don't know. I was hoping I could just like find like a Chris Paul Luka team organically, but I don't know. Like I'm having trouble. Here, let me try it. I don't know what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run. I just came with an idea. I normally only run like 20 teams. I'm gonna run 50 and then run the uniques and see if I can find a Luka Chris Paul that like I like. And that's the thing. I don't know if I'm gonna find them. That's like the big problem. I think the only way I can make it work is the JaVale McGee thing. I don't know.
Dwayne's asking any exposure to Tybalt. I'm fine with none of him in there. I have it so he doesn't even hit any of mine.
He gets 8 fantasy points a game, and he's on the road. Like you want Matisse Thybulle on the road. I can't stomach it. I mean, it's all your risk tolerance, right? Like,
even at 150, I won't do him. I'm only running 22, but 20 as well. But so Glock's having the same problem. He did not lock CB3 in the first Luka lineup has Niang.
Gosh, so you have that problem on okay. Oh man.
I mean, I can't play any of these Sixers. I overdid it on Sixers role players in games 1 and 2 in Miami. That really made me want to
play. Who are the role players? Like name me the Sixers role players.
Like Korkmaz, Niang. We love Niang in game 1, right? I think I was grabbing that off the cores.
Another reason you can't play those guys is the usage is just so like it's so condensed on those other dudes. Like like you worry Tyrese Maxey can't get there because of like Harris stealing from him and Embiid and Harden. Like it's just I don't know. I might honestly I think on FanDuel like when I do my like MME stuff, I think I'm just gonna X out. I might X out. I have to look at salaries, but like I might X out like a ton of the Sixers and just be like, okay, I'm like not playing a bunch of them. Like, let me look at this prices on Philly. Philly is 10K, 9.4, 7.8. Yeah, I might X them all. I'm going to X out all of them except Embiid. I think I'm going to X out Harden,
You're excellent.
Giannis,
Wow. Okay.
Maxey,
So
and
I was going to
Draymond.
ask, but I think you just answered. So you like Maxey the least out of Hero, Brunson, and Maxey then, right? Maxey's more expensive, and you're expecting worse.
I also like that I can like slide him in shooting guard because like my current build and like this might be something I just have to change with my build. Like I might have to throw out the window my plan, but like when I plug in Luca and I plug in Paul, I don't have any guards left. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't. So I have to get a shooting guard in there, and like that's why Maxey makes it difficult. I don't know. I could be forcing it too much. That's the thing I'm like trying to figure out right now, and I don't know the answer to that.
Do you feel that we're overthinking this because we've been playing the same damn slate for the last week? It's the same slate every other day.
This slate is like kind of like messed with me a little bit just because I've always thought shooting guard has not been as great, and I wish I would have just plugged in Booker from the start at shooting guard more. But I don't know. This has not been my favorite slates. But
Glock made a good point on Monday, man. He said they should mix it up a bit, so right, so we can have a day where we have between Luka and Giannis, right? A day we choose between.
I mean, Glock's living in a bubble where like no one cares about us, but like the 0.01%. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it'd be nice, but yeah.
It's a bubble with a lot of money in it, though, so you got it going for him.
Yeah,
He says,
it's not as big as you think. I think you like in reality of like the whole NBA like landscape of fans. We're so much smaller than I think we realize.
All right,
the Cam Johnson thing is viable. Like I can't ignore that completely.
Looks like Tyler's not going to join us. He's heading over to Best Buy right now. See if the Geek Squad can help him out before tomorrow. So by that time, Tyler, I hate to inform you, but that Bucks Celtics will be far away from my mind. I won't have any more time or any more Holiday in. I can't believe how terrible that guy was yesterday. Drew Holiday just killed me yesterday. So Andrew says narrative says Embiid and Paul are locks. You think you were doing the Luka build. What about an Embiid?
Why is Embiid a lock? Because of narrative. What's the narrative?
Because I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, I'm trying to get away from Lucas somehow, but it's like damn near impossible.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. So hard.
So, all right. Is there any questions that I missed here while we're going? He's talking about Cam Johnson. Raw points at 3.9 might be what you need instead of McGee. That'll unlock stuff for you. That's a good comment there, Glock. And I think that's about it here.
I think
We the people likes Cam Johnson over Payne for sure. I think everyone agrees with this. Cam Johnson over Payne. Just pay the $600, find a way to make it work.
That's mine. I think that's my lean.
Oh, the narrative is that he got robbed from the MVP. That's the narrative that we're going.
Yeah.
Are you down? Are you down? Is that petty enough for you?
I mean, maybe he does. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't heard him talk about it, so I'd have to hear him talk about it, I guess.
I mean, the MVP award is so overblown. It's so overblown. And you want to know why, Travis? And you're going to hate this, and we the people are going to hate this. But it's because the schedule's so long, they don't actually talk about the games. And they don't have time to talk about the games because there's so many of them. So we just get these stupid award talk all year long. Like it really matters. Like if you put Jokic to Philadelphia, they wouldn't be just as successful, right? You either have a guy that can lead you to a championship as the best player or you don't, right? So if you have Giannis, you have KD, you have Embiid, you have Jokic, you're able to do that. If you have De'Aaron Fox, right? If you have Cole Anthony as your best player, you don't have much of a chance. So, he's saying stop trying to shorten the season. I'm never going to stop with that, right? I want stakes in what I watch. I want.
Spread wants to watch less Kings games. That's what it is. Did you like Curry's comment about the Kings last night?
I mean, it was so sad but true. I mean, I'm just that team. I mean, talk about what reasons why people in Sacramento gamble. We can't. There's no way we can root for our own teams. They're just absolutely terrible. I got my little Raiders sweatshirt on. They're actually maybe going to make some noise this year, but
the Raiders.
My teams are terrible.
Yeah, the Raiders are fun for you,
dude. I think that the high school I went to gets more fans than the A's.
Then who?
My other favorite team, the Oakland A's. They're getting like 2,000 people a game. So, yeah. All right. So there we go. I think we've got through. Yeah. I mean, yeah. See, everyone's already ready to pile on to me. Don't think Tyler wasn't doing victory laps in the direct messages last night after Drew Holiday ruined my vacation. Let's give out some best bets for the people, Travis, and let you go because I know you are a busy man for today. What's your best bet for today's side total or prop?
Yeah, best bet. Let's go with the Suns. They're giving 6 or 6.5. What's the number we
It's a
got?
6.5 right now.
Yeah, we'll give the 6.5. I think the Suns win in a big way tonight. So, and if you want to, join me, and let's say you're not like loading up on DFS or anything, like push on the Chris Paul overs. I don't even care what they are. Just
It's 16.5.
16.5.
Yeah.
On the points.
Yep.
What's the assists?
I didn't look at that. I just know because I did a show earlier and we gave out Chris Paul over 16.
I care about the points probably more, anyways. Like I said, I think he goes off in a big way. So we'll see. I mean, I hope I end up being right. I had Chris Paul last slate, and he tilted me so hard with those fouls. It was painful to watch. But I'm going back to the well, and I hope no one else is. I hope I'm by myself on an island. And,
I don't think so. I think a lot of people are going to play that, right? Especially with how much media that the whole mom deal got.
I mean, I guess I don't. The people just follow projections, though. Like, it's not easy to get them in there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess
like it's just true, not so. Like I don't know. I think it's a lot harder to get him in on teams, and I don't know. People just saw what Harden did. People are all recency biased too. Like they always are like, oh, this guy did well. I mean, I get it. His game was a little different, but I don't know. Yeah, there is a lot. I don't know. I'd be curious in the chat if anyone are people actually before I talked and maybe I convinced you. Were people actually liking him? I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting you something.
Otter did. Otter liked him.
Yeah. I would go back to it though. I just.
What about this projection? He's going to get a flagrant 2 tonight and get kicked out.
There's no Scott Foster, right? That was my fear too. Please tell me he's not there.
Oh, I didn't look at the ref trends, but if Robert's in the chat, he usually sends that to me. So
Scott Foster.
I would have known about it. He usually warns me when we have janky refereeing coming up. How about this? I think this is a good way to approach it. How Otter did. If you end up with 50% Luka, I think that's pretty good. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
I mean, a nice exposure. You're not dead either way, no matter what happens.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad way to go about it. You can go even with the field if you want and then take stands in other spots. That's perfectly fine. By the way, no Scott Foster today. So
excellent. Thank you, Glock.
You don't have to worry about him today. I don't know any of these other guys, so that's good. It's good that I don't know their names.
All right. And Landa asks, are we going to keep the rundown going through the finals? Yes, Landa. If I showed up today and faced the music, even after believing in the Bucks, you know that I'll be here every single day, rain or shine. It would take a broken laptop, and we don't really have weather here issues here. So we will be here every single day through the finals. If there's a game, we'll be on that day. No Foster and no Zarba. That's too good. I'm sick of those guys. I'm sick of those guys. I'd rather have who's that old WWF ref? I'd rather have him. Who are the twins? I can't remember their names right now. Anyways, I'd rather have those guys out there. So you like the Suns? We're gonna be SpongeBob SquarePants show today because I like the Heat. So we're taking two favorites. But I just don't think that 7 from 35 number just stood out to me. You watch the game; they got the shots they wanted. I mean, even if they go 12 of 35, they win game 4 in Philly. I expect they do much better tonight. Jimmy Butler's been unstoppable. I see no reason for him to regress. Will Harden play as well? That's a good question. I know he did excellent in game 4. Is he going to suffer from some zigzag as well? As never played well against Miami. Maybe a little bit of return for Duncan Robinson here tonight, or maybe these guys just make their shots and we don't need to see Duncan. But regardless, give me Spoelstra, give me the Heat, give me JSU guys, Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to take the Miami Heat tonight. So, Travis, I know that you're a busy man. The morning show is great. I caught you and JSU yesterday. That was fantastic. I missed the baseball talk today, but since I don't play baseball, that actually ended up working to be okay for me. So tell me the lineup for the rest of the week and the other places that they can find you on runpuresports.com.
Yeah, so I'll do so on the morning show today, it was me and Hoop. So me and Hoop talked baseball. We talked a little Saber Sim with it. So be sure to check that out. It's good. And we talked about this slate. So if you care about that baseball slate, go ahead and check that out. The Swing for the Fences show starting at 4:45. So be sure to be tuning in for that. 6 o'clock, JSU, Big T, Glock, Holden. We'll be doing the premium stuff.
Are you jumping on again? You jumped on last Tuesday. I think you're trying for like a 24-hour straight on YouTube.
Not this Tuesday. I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna figure my stuff out. So I want to make sure I get this right today. I feel good. I feel like I'm gonna be able to find a good team today. Let's see. 8:30 PGA Strokes Gain show. So check that out. And then we got Wednesday. Wednesday we got the Run Pure Sports morning show. Me and DC talking baseball. Little baseball slate tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Thursday we're talking the main slate baseball and the early slate. So we're doing both of them on Thursday. There's 4 games in the morning, 4 at night. So we're just going to do both of them in the morning, knock it out. That'll be your show at 11 a.m. So be sure to check that out. And then Friday, I don't know what they're doing. It's JSU and it's hoop. I'm not on that show.
You're not on it?
Yeah, I can't be there that day. So.
Okay, well that'll be fun. I'll make sure see how different it is. But West Coast makes a good point, man. Just like the coffee, we're waking up with Folgers. So, any other words of wisdom for the people before we sign off?
No, let's slam Chris Ball home and hopefully we have a good night. Hopefully we run pure and I'm hoping the Suns win in a big way because if Dallas wins, it probably won't go well for me.
All right. And I thank you for all your information, helping me with my projections, having a great time using that Saber Sim. If you're not using Saber Sim, make sure you head on over to runpuresports.com because become a member. Use that promo code GetBets. You'll get access to everything, including my plays. And before we sign off, our guy Jay Reed, let me know the name I was looking for. In the spirit of Earl Hebner, I'm hoping you all run pure.